Today, we're diving into a topic that resonates with everyone at some point in their lives: boredom. You know those moments when life feels like it's dragging, when you're stuck in a rut, and everything seems dull? Perhaps last week, you didn't get to see your significant other, or maybe you didn't have any exciting plans. But I'm willing to bet you encountered some members of what I call the boredom family. These are the feelings of frustration, demotivation, or even existential ennui that creep into our lives. If you're nodding along thinking, yes, that's me, then you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to share three practical, battle-tested methods I personally use to combat boredom and its cousins: demotivation and despair. These aren't theoretical ideas pulled from a self-help book written by some guru in a far-off land. No, these are strategies born from my own experiences, forged in the trenches of my entrepreneurial journey, where loneliness and monotony are frequent visitors. Whether you're a student, a professional, an entrepreneur, or just someone navigating the ups and downs of life, these methods will help you reclaim your energy and zest. So let's get started and explore how to kick boredom to the curb. Let's begin by dissecting what happens when boredom strikes. Picture this. You're sitting at home, scrolling through your phone, or staring at the ceiling. Nothing feels exciting. Your favorite video game? Meh. That catchy song you usually love? It's just noise now. Even binge watching a new series feels like a chore, something you do just to kill time rather than enjoy. At work, it's even worse. You're physically present, but your mind is elsewhere, doodling on a notepad or daydreaming to make the hours pass. In these moments, you're not just bored, you feel useless, like you're wasting your potential. This sense of worthlessness is the real enemy, and it's what makes boredom so paralyzing. Why do we feel this way? The answer is simple. When we're bored, we stop doing anything meaningful. We become passive, letting life happen to us rather than taking charge. This inaction creates a vicious cycle. The less we do, the more worthless we feel, and the more worthless we feel, the less motivated we are to act. It's like being trapped in a mental cage where you desperately want to break free but feel too lethargic to try. You might tell yourself, I want to do something productive, but instead you end up scrolling social media for hours, feeling even worse afterward. I've been there. As an entrepreneur, I've faced countless days where loneliness and monotony threatened to derail my dreams. In those moments, I felt like my ambitions were slipping away, and I questioned my value. But I discovered a simple, powerful way to break this cycle, and it takes just 5 minutes. Yes, 5 minutes. I've tested this method repeatedly, and I promise it works. Ready to try it? Here's the secret. To escape boredom, you need to take a small, intentional action that restores your sense of worth. The first step is to grab a piece of paper and a pen. I know if you're deep in a boredom slump, even this might feel like too much effort, but trust me, it's worth it. Write down this question: what can I do to feel less worthless? If you prefer a bolder tone, go with, what do I need to do to stop feeling like a loser? Or, if you're feeling gentle, try, what can I do to feel better about myself? The exact wording doesn't matter. Just make it personal and meaningful. Now let your mind run wild. Write down every idea that comes to you, no matter how small or silly it seems. Don't judge or overthink, just let the ideas flow. Here are some examples to get you started. Sleep. Maybe you've been burning the candle at both ends, skipping meals and sleep. A quick nap could recharge your body and mind, giving you a small win in the health department. Buy a gift for someone you love. Imagine you've been meaning to get something special for your mom. Hop onto an e-commerce site, browse for 10 minutes, and order a thoughtful gift. It's a small act that makes you feel like you're contributing to someone's happiness. Get a haircut. If you've been feeling sloppy, why not try a new hairstyle? Maybe there's a bold look you've always wanted to try but never dared. A trip to the salon could boost your confidence and freshen your appearance. Follow through on a promise. Remember that friend you promised to help? Maybe you said you'd go shoe shopping with them, but kept postponing. Call them up, say, hey, I'm free, let's go. Fulfilling a commitment strengthens your relationships and your self-image. Let's say you're going through a rough patch. Maybe a breakup has left you feeling like a mess. Your work is suffering, your energy is low, and you feel like you're aging prematurely. In this state, you might write, "What can I do to feel less like a failure?" Your list could include, "Clean my room." A tidy space can clear your mind. Call a friend, reconnect with someone you haven't talked to in a while. Learn something new. Watch a YouTube tutorial on a skill you've always wanted to try, like cooking or photography. The key is to list 5 to 6 ideas, enough to give you options, but not so many that you feel overwhelmed. Once your list is ready, pick one action and do it immediately. If you can't decide, flip a coin or roll a die. For example, if you have 6 ideas, split them into 2 groups, odd and even numbers. Flip a coin to choose a group, then assign numbers to the remaining options and roll a die to pick one. This random selection process eliminates indecision and gets you moving. Why does this work? Because taking even a small action breaks the cycle of inaction. When you complete a task, no matter how minor, you prove to yourself that you're capable, that you have value. This boosts your confidence and momentum, pulling you out of the boredom spiral. In my entrepreneurial journey, I've used this method to overcome countless low moments. Whether it's sending an email I've been procrastinating on or simply organizing my desk, these small wins remind me that I'm not powerless. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I hit a rough patch in my business. Sales were down, and I was questioning my decisions. I felt like I was stuck in quicksand, unable to move forward. One day I sat down with a notebook and wrote, "What can I do to feel less useless?" My list included things like call an old client, read a chapter of a business book, and go for a walk. I chose to call a client I hadn't spoken to in months. That 10-minute conversation not only rekindled a business relationship, but also gave me a spark of motivation. I felt like I was back in the game. That's the power of a small action. It's like a match that ignites a fire. This method is universal. Whether you're a student procrastinating on assignments, a parent feeling overwhelmed, or a professional stuck in a rut, the 5-minute exercise works. It's quick, it's practical, and it's empowering. So the next time boredom strikes, grab that paper and pen and give yourself permission to take control. Sometimes boredom is so intense that even the 5-minute exercise feels impossible. You're so deep in the doldrums that picking up a pen seems like climbing a mountain. Your mind is foggy, your motivation is zero, and you feel like you're paralyzed, as if the weight of the world is pinning you down. I get it. I've been there too. During my entrepreneurial journey, there were days when I couldn't muster the energy to do anything, let alone brainstorm solutions. That's when I discovered the second method, scripting your response to boredom in advance. This approach is a game changer because it shifts the work to a time when you're feeling energized and optimistic. By preparing a plan when you're in a good mood, you create a roadmap for those inevitable low moments. It's like packing an emergency kit for a storm. You don't wait until the rain starts to gather supplies. Let's explore how to create your own boredom script and why it's so effective. The process is simple and takes just a few minutes. Find a moment when you're feeling upbeat, maybe after a great day at work, a fun outing with friends, or even just a sunny morning when life feels good. Grab a notebook or your phone and start with this prompt. If I'm bored, I will. Then outline a clear, step-by-step plan for what you'll do when boredom strikes. The key is to make it specific and actionable, so there's no room for hesitation when you're feeling low. Here's an example for someone with a flexible schedule. Book a car to a favorite cafe, open the Uber with the address of Cafe ABC already saved, and book a car. Order a signature drink. Walk into the cafe, head straight to the counter, and order your favorite beverage. Read a book. Sit down with a book you've been meaning to read, like a novel or a self-improvement guide, and dive in for at least 30 minutes. Or, if you're stuck in an office environment, use an online counseling service. Open a browser, log into a pre-selected platform for psychological counseling with an account or prepaid card ready, and book a session. Talk it out. Spend 20 to 30 minutes chatting with a professional about what's weighing you down. Reflect. Jot down one key takeaway from the conversation to act on later. Let's break down why this works. When you're bored, your brain is in a low-energy state, making it hard to think creatively or make decisions. A pre-written script eliminates the need for on-the-spot planning. It's like having a personal coach who says, "Don't think, just follow these steps." By preparing when you're in a positive mindset, you ensure that your plan is thoughtful and aligned with what truly makes you feel better. I started using this method during a particularly challenging phase of my business. I was working long hours, often alone, and boredom would hit like a tidal wave. One day when I was feeling particularly motivated, I sat down and wrote my script. If I'm bored, I will. Book a ride to my favorite coffee shop, order an iced latte, sketch out ideas for my next business project. The next time I felt stuck, I didn't have to think. I just followed the script. I grabbed my phone, booked a ride, and within 20 minutes, I was sipping coffee and doodling ideas in a notebook. That simple act shifted my mood and reminded me that I could take control of my day. What's powerful about this method is that it makes you proactive. Instead of dreading boredom, you start to see it as an opportunity to execute your plan. I've even found myself almost looking forward to those low moments, thinking, "Come on, boredom, I'm ready for you." It's a mindset shift that turns a negative experience into a chance to grow. Each week, I recommend creating 2 to 3 different scripts to keep things fresh. For example, one script might involve a creative activity like painting, another might focus on socializing, and a third could be about self-care. This variety ensures you're always prepared no matter the context. This method is versatile. If you're a freelancer with a flexible schedule, your script might involve exploring new places or working from a co-working space. If you're a 9 to 5 employee, your script could include quick actions you can take during a break, like listening to a podcast or doing a 5-minute meditation. For parents, a script might involve playing a game with your kids or tackling a small household task. The beauty of the script is that it's tailored to your life, making it both practical and personal. By preparing in advance, you take the guesswork out of handling boredom. You're no longer at the mercy of your emotions, you're in the driver's seat. This method has been a lifeline for me, and I believe it can transform how you navigate life's inevitable slumps. The third method is perhaps the most poetic and profound, and I can't take credit for it. I learned it from a talk show, someone I deeply admire. He shared a simple yet powerful insight. "When I'm free, I love to swim. When you swim, you have to keep moving to stay afloat. If you stop, you sink." This struck me like a lightning bolt. It's not just about swimming, it's a metaphor for life. Boredom is like the water in a pool, threatening to pull you under. To stay afloat, you have to act, to move, to fight. This realization inspired my third method. Go swimming. Swimming is unique because it demands action. The moment you jump into the water, you have no choice but to move. Whether you're an Olympic swimmer or just splashing around in the shallow end, if you don't, you'll sink, gulp water, and flail. This mirrors life perfectly. When boredom hits, doing nothing pulls you deeper into despair. But taking action, even something as simple as paddling, keeps you afloat. Swimming is both a physical and mental reset, forcing you to engage your body and mind in a way that breaks the boredom cycle. You don't need to be a skilled swimmer to benefit. Even standing in the shallow end, moving your arms, or floating with a kickboard counts. The act of being in the water, surrounded by its resistance, makes you feel alive. It's a tangible reminder that you're capable of overcoming challenges, whether they're in the pool or in your head. Here's how to make swimming your boredom-busting tool. Find a pool. When you're in a good mood, open Google Maps and search for swimming pools near me. Save the address of a safe, accessible pool. Check if they offer beginner classes or have shallow areas if you're not confident in your swimming skills. Plan your visit. Incorporate swimming into your boredom script, method 2. For example, if I'm bored, I will. 1. Book a ride to the local pool. 2. Swim for 20 minutes. 3. Relax with a drink afterward. Act when bored. When boredom strikes, don't hesitate, just go. Even if the pool's an hour away, make the effort. Take a taxi, ride-hailing service, or bus. The journey itself can be part of the adventure. When you're in the water, imagine the pool as your life and the water as your boredom. Each stroke you take is a step toward overcoming your struggles. As you glide through the water, you're not just swimming, you're conquering your doubts, your fears, and your inertia. When you climb out, exhausted but exhilarated, you'll feel a sense of pride. You didn't just survive, you thrived. I'm not a great swimmer. I took a few lessons as a kid, but I tire quickly in the water. Yet every time I swim, I feel a sense of accomplishment. There's something magical about pushing through the resistance of the water, feeling your muscles work, and knowing you're keeping yourself afloat. One day during a particularly tough period, I followed my own advice and went to a local pool. I wasn't in the mood, but I forced myself to go. After 20 minutes of splashing around, I climbed out, dripping and tired, but with a smile on my face. I had done something. I had moved. And that small victory carried me through the rest of the day. Swimming isn't just about physical exercise, it's a mental and emotional reset. Countless studies, which I won't bore you with, highlight the benefits of swimming for stress relief, mood enhancement, and overall well-being. But for me, it's more than science. It's a reminder that life, like a pool, requires effort to navigate. As the saying goes, life is a sea of suffering, and swimming teaches you how to stay afloat. To make this method work, preparation is key. Don't wait until you're bored to find a pool. That's a recipe for procrastination. Choose a safe, reputable facility, not a random river or lake. Check the pool's hours, fees, and amenities in advance. If you're nervous about swimming, start with a beginner class or stick to the shallow end. The goal isn't to win a race, it's to move, to feel, to live. If pools aren't your thing, you can adapt this method to other physical activities that demand engagement, like running, dancing, or yoga. The key is to choose something that forces you to stay present and active, preventing you from sinking into passivity. These three methods, taking small actions, scripting your response, and swimming, are more than just boredom cures. They're tools for living a proactive, empowered life. Boredom, demotivation, and despair are inevitable, but they don't have to define you. By acting intentionally, preparing in advance, and embracing metaphors like swimming, you can transform how you experience life's lows. These strategies come from my heart, drawn from my struggles and triumphs as an entrepreneur and a human being. They're not abstract theories from a distant expert. They're practical, relatable, and rooted in real life. I've shared them with friends, colleagues, and now with you, hoping they'll inspire you to take charge of your days. Life is yours to shape, and boredom is just a challenge waiting to be conquered. Until next time, stay strong, stay proactive, and keep swimming through life's challenges. Goodbye.